Bruh.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's
You're
episode 3, right? Episode 3, Josh?
Yeah.
Episode 3, week 5 of the
Episode
NFL
3.
season. This is the A is for Quitters fantasy football podcast. I am David Grantham. I'm the host. My co-host with me is Josh Preston. Good to see you again, buddy.
Hey, David. Nice to be here.
Glad to have you. We do have a special guest today on the podcast, Mr. Ethan Cruz, down there he's at my bottom. I don't know how it's going to look. It'll probably be on the right side when you guys see it. But Mr. Ethan Cruz, thank you for joining us this week. How are you doing?
It's doing great. Jacksonville's been awesome, ex-Pensacola guy, but had to get out of there.
Nice city over there. I hear they have great TGI Fridays.
I think every city has a good TGI Fridays.
The one in Fort Walton's a little sketch, but
Yeah.
It
They
is
don't
what
have
it
wings
is.
and rings, so.
Exactly. It trumps it significantly. It's phenomenal. I think they know me by
Can we
my
not
first
use
name.
that word during this podcast, please?
Phenomenal?
No, the T word.
Which one?
I don't know, man. Can't say it. I have
I don't even
plans
know.
for a future, and I just can't have that associated with my image.
I got you. Clearly, I don't even know what the T word is because I don't know. I just say things and stuff happens, but whatever.
Thank you.
All
You forgot to
righty.
mention the other special guest.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you introduce your guest, Ethan?
Why don't you introduce yours?
This is the fantasy championship belt. Soon to get a plaque.
It's
With my
ordered.
name on it, and it's looking real pretty back here, and can't wait to install it.
I
in front
still
of
need
everybody,
I still need an address to send the plaque
Put
to.
that on this for everybody to find.
Well, no, not right now. I'm just saying you just need to text me afterwards.
Privately.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm gonna put it on Twitter, but
Sounds good.
no one follows me on Twitter, so you'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
I think Josh's mom follows me on Twitter, but that was from a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Good to have you on the podcast, Ethan. Good to have the belt on the podcast. For people who don't know, and for the one person who wasn't in the league last year, Brant, Ethan was our fantasy football champion last year. He's not as not flamboyant. He doesn't flaunt it as much as we've had in the past. Not naming any names, but we've only had 2 champions, so we know who you are. So good to have him on the He's actually the first guest we've had this year because the other 2 have canceled due to scheduling restraints and stuff. So, or no, it was just Brant, right? Because we didn't have him week 1, or did we?
Just Brand. The whole GG
So-
incident.
Yeah.
He
Horrible.
was.
Prayers out to you and your cat. I know you guys are very close. I've met Gigi before, and she is very sweet. So
Exactly. So I don't know what that means, but it is what it is. So glad to have you on the podcast. We got several different topics. We got a couple different topics this year. Or not this year, this week. We have some new topics as well that we're going to talk around. So first thing, Josh, would you like to do the NFL around the league, or do you want to do fantasy?
Yeah, let's go around the league in the NFL. Just highlight a couple big games. Giants win over Packers in London, 27-22. Bills, big-time beatdown on the Steelers, 38-3. Oof. Chargers squeak out a dub against Jacoby Brissett, 30-28. Vikings win 29-22 on kind of a last-second fumble recovery there, or last minute. Patriots go and beat Detroit 29-0. So Detroit had them at the top of our power rankings last week. We may have to readjust those.
Might be a curse list.
Yeah. Saints, probably the hottest team in the NFL, the Saints, win over the Seahawks 39-32.
Quick question. Is Taysom Hill available to put in as tight end?
I mean, if he's not
quarterback,
if he's not registered as the starting quarterback, he is available to go to the tight end spot.
It's just a controversial topic for me.
The big thing last year was he was registered as the starter before the game for the quarterback position, which basically nulled him out for that week. But clearly, the dude plays running back, quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, lead blocker. I think he was on the defense at one point. I think he was playing corner or something. So
yeah, and he's Mormon.
Proud of BYU, right? Am I right? He was that guy. Still that guy.
BYU. Were they Cougars?
That guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zach
Wilson.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a Cougar on the field, and he takes him down in the bedroom as well. So, go white shirts,
bro.
Hey,
back to the recaps.
Why did we skip the Thursday night matchup? We just skipped right over that. Went right into the.
Yeah,
we're not going to go over Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. We'll circle back to it.
Save the best for last.
Yeah. Okay, Jets big time dub over the Dolphins 40-17. Buccaneers dub over the Falcons 21-15. Titans with the win. That was a nail biter down to the end. 21-17 over the Commanders.
That one ended
Texans.
on the Titans ended on an interception, I think.
Carson Wentz pick, I think.
Pick in the end zone? Yeah. Gosh, whoever gave that guy a big mistake.
Okay. Texans, Jags, 13-6. A lot of people talking about that Thursday night game, but 13-6, I mean.
Hey, I think they found someone found the end zone, right?
One time.
Barely.
Hey, once is better than something else happened.
Shout out to Damian Pierce, that dude. Unit.
Absolute unit. 49ers, 37. Panthers, 15. Cowboys over the Rams, 22-10. Eagles over the Cardinals, 20-17. Ravens squeak by with the dub over the Bengals, 19-17. And then probably the best game of the week, Monday Night Football. Chiefs pick up the 30-29 win over the Raiders. Yeah, that was a good game. Did you guys watch it all?
I actually watched all of it.
Yeah, I got to peek into it.
I enjoyed it. Probably my second favorite game of the weekend. First being the Bills just absolutely destroying Pittsburgh. But, yeah, I mean, it was a solid game. Big controversial calls both in the Chiefs game and the Buccaneers game this weekend. Apparently it's the same ref that did the Ravens call last week that Brant was raging about in the Buccaneers game.
We got to zero that stuff in.
That guy is on the hot seat. But several different roughing the passer calls that dude, I don't even think it should have been a roughing the passer. He picked that ball. I don't even think it hit the ground in the
it was
Chiefs game.
Chris Jones had it straight in his hand. Yeah.
I don't even think, like I said, I don't even think it hit the ground. So I think it shouldn't have been like roughing the passer. It was a pick. But who knows?
Really just a strip through that. I don't know.
True. I think. I mean, I know with the Tua situation that happened, they're definitely trying to be a little bit more adamant on protecting the quarterback, but I think it's getting a little bit too out of It's getting outside of football.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 270-pound, 6'8" guys trying to stop on a dime after running full speed at one target.
Yeah.
So and they're already doing the impossible. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even stopping on a dime. They're like legit tackles. I think they broke down the Buccaneers tackle in the Atlanta Buccaneers game. Like, there's no other, like, you wouldn't have been able to make that tackle any better. Like, it was outside the tackle box.
Yeah.
He hugged him to the body. Like, it wasn't a violent throw. I mean, it was textbook tackling, just getting out of control. But
yeah,
sorry, Josh, as you were.
They're gonna have to address that very soon.
I'm sure they'll have meetings about it this week. But
Yeah, it's a wild rule. You guys want to hear somewhat of a crazy stat from that game?
Yeah.
the Chiefs or the Buccaneers game?
It's related to the Chiefs game. Has to do with Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
4 receiving touchdowns. 4 receiving touchdowns in last night's game, and he still wasn't the highest scoring fantasy tight end this week. He actually lost to a tight end that didn't even record a single reception, Taysom Hill.
It's true.
He's a tight end.
I think Brant ended up winning this week because of that, because of Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce on Monday night.
Dub. 66 points.
Crazy.
All right.
Insane.
Those are really
You
big
wanna-
changes right there.
Hit the last matchup of the last week, or we're just not going to talk about it?
I think we hit them all. I covered Monday nights.
But not Thursday. So that 12-9 performance from the Colts and Broncos, the two worst horse teams in the NFL. Also the two best. So, I mean, half full, half empty.
Well, we know who is the best horse team, and that's the Colts.
Such a high bar.
Sorry, I'm getting my mental reps in.
Solid. I mean, like I said, Broncos an injury-filled game. But
I think it's kind of crazy how last year was debatably the best year of football in the last decade, and now we're seeing some of the worst football being played. I would say.
You're not wrong.
So
I do, but agree with that
Change in a
statement.
year.
This is also true.
Yep. But that's inflation for you.
the price, it's just raw materials are hard to get. Can't find people to work. I don't know.
All right,
True.
let's move on to week 5 around the fantasy league. Grantham, you want to do a recap of
I can
the
do that.
matchups from week 5?
I got the matchups, and then I've got a little bit extra going into the next one as well. So, or no, that I've got that pulled up as well. So, around the league in the fantasy last week for matchups, we had Riley Reed option, aka Caleb, who's 3-2. Ended up beating Josh, the battle of the brothers. Josh ended up with 115.9, putting him at 2-3. So Caleb counted on top on that one. Next up was the shootout of the week. I mean, I think Brant and Caleb might have been close, or no? Math. No, there was one more later on. We'll get to that one. I was going to say the closest matchup, but there's one that's just a little bit closer. So me, aka Josh Tosh McGosh, and Diggy Pop beat out Ethan 171.9 to 162.95. I was a little worried going in with him having Josh Jacobs and me just having Daniel Carlson, even with like a 20-something point lead. But they ended up, I was praying to the gods during the game for them to kick field goals when they're trying to go for it and not take points. But Daniel Carlson came through. I think he kicked 2 50-yarders, which was like 6 points apiece.
18 points.
I know. He got 2
points.
2 50-yarders, which was like 6 points apiece. And then he ended up kicking another field goal and then an extra point. So 18 points.
Let's have a little personal.
My guy is averaging 12 points a game. Daniel Carlson, if he's not the leading kicker by the end of the year, there's something wrong. He hasn't scored under 10 points this year.
And that was
phenomenal.
That was a tough loss. It's never fun to lose when you outscore everybody else in the league, except for one person that you play that week. So,
I know.
All the Josh Jacobs hate, I love to hear it.
He was balling out.
Love to hear it. So,
he was balling out on, like I said, he on Monday he had the old pucker going, puckered me up, and I will say
I thought I had a chance.
I thought you had a chance. I was going the whole time thinking, all right, well, he's about to beat me, so I'm going to go cry in a corner somewhere. But I know you're speaking of, like, outscoring, like doing a really good score and then outscoring. I have the most points against me this year at 730. Or no, sorry. Thad has the most points against him at 765. But he's also scored 761. I think he's the leading scorer on the year so far. But he's still getting out. People are still outscoring him. But I've got the second one at 717.
80-something on him in the loss.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a terrible feeling. I mean, you would have beat anybody else.
It hurts.
Any given Sunday. Any given Thursday through Monday.
It's true. Every good week. So the next up is good fight though, Ethan.
GG's for sure.
GG's. Respect where respect is due. If there's anybody else, Ethan, I don't know. If you weren't such a lovable guy, I'd talk so much shit to you, but I can't do it to you. So,
look, the Jags scored 2 field goals this week. I think I've had enough in my heart. So.
Good. I won't twist it too much. Now, if Brant was here last week, that would have been a bad podcast for him to be on. Anyways, so the next up is Sean Maxwell. He outscored Rob, who has a new name. Rob's team has a new name. It's a new name. He outscored him 141.7 to 110.05. I think Darren Waller had one snap last night and got hurt, so that knocked him out. Sean is 5-0, only undefeated or only unbeaten in the league. Rob is 1-4. I didn't do our. I'm 2-3 now, and Ethan is 2-2-1. Next up is QB Sneak Jungle Juice, aka David Dimbo. He lost out to Casey 117.85 to 155.55. That brings David's record to 1-4 and Casey's to 3-1-1. Next up is Brant versus Thad. Brant being 4-1 now, 139.1 to 127.8. Thad, your mom's a midget lover. Next up is I Lie on a Resume, aka Trent, 156.65, which is I didn't read it until I think Sunday, and I died laughing. Like, I didn't realize that they changed the names of their teams. I lost it on the couch, just crying. He beat out Chris 148.1, aka Pinnacle Beach Trailer Park Real Estate.
Mr. $350,000 townhome.
Oh man,
you got to feel terrible, Trent. It's like selling Kia Souls to old couples. Can't be fun.
That little box car.
It's the hamster car.
It's the hamster one.
Hamster car. I got it. Yep.
It's cursed. It's cursed. It's Caleb.
Oh man,
The green
Yeah.
ones.
The green ones.
They were the closest matchup of the week.
I know.
being,
Those
I think,
salespeople
8
don't feel
points.
good.
So it was a close matchup. The battle of the worst, as we called it last week. But Trent got a second win of the year. I'm sure he's 6 to midnight right now. I still think they've got them. I think Trent's like right on the edge of not making the playoffs, according to the predictions. But so that was
Still early in the season.
There's plenty of football left to play.
I said that I won the league with an 8-7 record last year, so it's just about winning those important matchups. So
it's about getting in the playoffs, and then once you're there, winning those games. So whatever gets there. I mean, like I said, the board's pretty spread out right now. There's only like 2 top teams, and then there's like a mid tier, and then like a bottom. We'll go over that in the next segment. But looking at league standings after week 5, I'll read out the west side if you want to read out the east side. Or no, I'll read out the east side if you want to read out the west side, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay. So the east side, as of right now, the top of the leaderboard is Sean, 5-0. Next up is Casey, 3-1-1. So putting that up. Next up is going to be Ethan. It's 2-2-1. Next up is me at 2-3. Next up is Rob at 1-4, and then David at 1-4. So I think we have like two more matchups. 2 more of like in conference matchups, and then we go out of conference next week, or either next week or the week after next.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jumping over to the west, you got Brant sitting at the top at 4-1. We'll point out who gave him that 1L, and that was me. Thad in second place there at 3-2. He's kind of tied with Caleb at 3-2. Has the advantage right now because of the points scored. And then at 4-5, you have Trent and me, both at 2-3. And then last place down there at 1-4, you got Chris. So pretty wide open division still on the West. A couple teams only 1 game behind, 2 games behind. So a lot can happen before the end of the season.
Very true.
Yeah, I agree.
So as we're sitting right now,
I'll say that. Oh God.
No, you go ahead. You're the
I was going to
guest.
say that, although Chris is at the bottom, I think he scored the most points out of any team in one game. That just shows that his team can be dangerous. It's just getting it to click. But that's just fantasy football. So
Yeah. I think his team clicked when Mercury was in Gatorade.
No, that's Astros Rising. So shout out to Mattress Mac.
Sweet. So next up we've got, no, we're still in that segment. So we have who's in trouble basically right now. For our viewers and listeners, as it stands right now, the 3 that are in trouble are Dimbo, Rob, and Chris for punishment this year. Them plus 1 more person will battle it out in the loser bracket to figure out who are those punishments again. So clearly the biggest loser will be the calendar. Basically, the way the calendar will set up is every person in the league will get a month and get to pick the pose or like the situation of that month. And then December will be a group effort of choosing what that person does for that picture. So that's the last place punishment. I think The next one up was I've texted it like 6 times.
YouTube channel.
Which one's the NFL Combine?
That's the third to last loser.
Ooh, that's rough.
That sounds fun. It's a little harsh, but
I know, that's why it's the third to last. Y'all enjoy that. It's true.
What was it? Get your nails done or something?
Oh yeah, I thought it was either like do a makeup tutorial and leave it on YouTube for a year, or
I think that might be it.
or get like eyelashes extended,
I think it was
or something like that.
Makeup tutorial on YouTube for a year.
Nice.
I'm looking them up right now. So, but yeah, those are the bottom 3 in trouble right now. At least we'll see how it goes. The rest of the year,
Yeah,
football left to
combine,
be
makeup
played.
tutorial, and calendar.
perfect. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see who ends up. I mean, like y'all said, and there is plenty of football. I think we have 15 weeks in the regular season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in weeks.
We get to talk about some fantasy football players or the overall feel of it this year. New segment. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Bruh.
So we've got the next segment up is fantasy performance of the week. Basically, this award goes to Brant for beating Thad, taking the first in the West. Did it all. Basically, he was down going into Monday, right?
Yeah.
So he put his team on Pat Mahomes and Kelsey's back, putting up 66 points combined, or 67, I think. But just a monstrous performance on Monday night, slingshotting him above Thad. You'll love to see it anytime Thad loses. It's a good day because then he starts blaming his injuries or his drafting or just excuses start coming out of nowhere. So, 139. What did Brant have before those two played? 60 points? 70 points?
That's just insane.
Sheesh. Let's see. So, Josh, do you want to go over big games of the week?
Yeah. We'll go over big games on this week, upcoming week 6 of the NFL season. We're going to start Thursday night football. This is the actual worst matchup ever for Thursday night football. Worse than the Broncos-Colts. It's going to be the Commanders at the Bears. Definitely going to be a rough one to watch.
I don't think anyone's going to watch it.
And just think, Jeff Bezos paid about $79 million per game to be able to stream this. So back-to-back
Flat
weeks.
football.
Yikes.
Flag football.
Flat football.
Yeah. Moving on to Sunday. Oh, sorry. Moving on to Sunday, probably my favorite noon game, as well as Ethan's Colts at Jags. Ethan, I'm actually rocking my new Colts jersey right here.
Yeah, let me see it. I got you. This is actually good.
He's bringing something else in. I love props. This podcast brought to you by Props Brewery. They've got some nice ales and IPAs out there if you're looking for a nice drinky drink.
Let's just give a moment. The boat retired. So everybody salute. Thank you. He has
Thank you, Blake, for your
more
service.
more playoff wins than Dak Prescott. Thank you.
Yards per rush than Michael Vick.
This is the jersey that might have to be burned. And I'm officially on the Trevor Lawrence might be a bust. The Trevor Lawrence might be a bust, and it hurts to say that, but he's casting some shadows that are creeping into my dreams. Yeah, he might have to do a Blaine Gabbert transformation.
Yeah,
just cut his hair, get really handsome, and get under Tom Brady's wing, get a Super Bowl. But that's I don't know, man. It's scary to watch. It's scary.
I got you.
Yeah. Needs to work on the ball control.
Let's see. I mean, I wish you had the film session set up right here, so we could have the 4th and 2 on the 5-yard line. It was actually whatever. It was horrible, absolutely horrible.
Yeah. Ethan about to have Vietnam.
It looks like the 2015 Sandlot UWF football offense.
Nice.
And if you were there, you know.
If you know, you know.
I think Josh was there. I don't know.
Another good matchup on Sunday between a couple of our league members' favorite teams. We got the Bengals at the Saints.
I think that's also
that'll be a fun game.
Sorry, I didn't put
I think that's a noon.
I think I only put one afternoon game. So
yeah, Bills at Chiefs. That's the afternoon game. Rematch of last year's playoffs. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be
Arrowhead.
Huge game.
So,
and I know that
fun for anybody that has fantasy players on either team.
Yeah.
I think Kelsey's going to eat us alive with our secondary right now, so we'll see how it goes, especially if Jordan Poyer's out again. But
two words. Gabe Davis.
Hey, he showed out this week, dude.
I mean,
the one catch in the end zone on the long ball, that was dirty.
That's a guy.
Hey, I like that. I think it's something Shakir. He's stepping in for Isaiah McKenzie right now. Dude's got some speed. Got a little quickness coming off the edge, and then some of his routes are pretty quick. So I didn't mind watching him play on Sunday either.
It's an exciting time to be a Bills fan. So
it is. It's a great time.
Yeah, good matchup this weekend. Then you got the Cowboys at the Eagles, Sunday Night Football. Big time divisional game. Both teams looking hot right now.
I don't see Trent saying anything. I don't see Trent talking to any of us on Sunday night.
It's going to be
probably not.
He might put his phone on Do Not Disturb. Or off.
Well,
probably off.
We'll see. It'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Then Monday night, Broncos at the Chargers. Don't know how Denver has another primetime game, but we're all going to watch it, and we're all going to suffer together. So, Broncos at Chargers, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it's been a floundering season for the Chargers, I got to say, too.
Yeah, the Chargers, they're banged up. They got a few injuries across the board that, hopefully come middle towards the end of the season, they'll get right. They're still playing pretty well. I mean, they're competitive. They're competing for that division. Chiefs look hot, but Chargers, it's a long season. They got players coming back. Don't count them out yet.
But you've played football. Grantham is coached. The best football should be starting to be played in October. And that's when teams are starting to round out, get into shape. We've had a couple weeks to warm up. And, maybe one more week. But, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to piss like a puppy.
It'll be interesting this month.
Stay off the
I think it's a big month.
Let the big dogs
Yeah.
Get those mental reps in Grantham.
Hey. All right. So this next segment, it's a new segment. It starts off with all right. This is dissing them Cowboys segment. So can't diss them too much because they won this week. So I know Trent will be happy about that. After I was talking a little mess about it, but they came out. The defense played well. Special teams played well. You start hitting on cylinders like that, it'll start covering up some areas that you're lacking. So, congrats to the Cowboys. I take back what I said last week, putting you in D tier. I apologize. You're a solid C plus, maybe B. We'll see at the end of the year when they choke, but probably a C class because choke. Anyways, so basically this segment's just gonna go over the Cowboys matchup because I know it hits Trent different because clearly he had to go and watch the whole podcast to find where I said that the Cowboys division was not good. So clearly he took the time, put in the effort. It's all about drive. It's about power. Stay hungry and devour.
Trent also holds another league record. You don't know what that is?
Hit me with it.
Most times left the group chat.
Yeah.
If he doesn't leave it,
yeah.
If he doesn't leave it at least 3 or 4 times a year,
yeah. I mean,
is it even a fantasy football season?
No, not at this point.
So this week's matchup with the Cowboys, like I said, I don't think we'll hear from Trent until Monday after the afternoon games are done. As soon as Kerry comes on, he will probably mute all of our group chats that he's in. So the good, the bad, and the ugly this week, he's going up against Jalen Hurts, who's just thriving right now. Dude's finding a way, getting it done. Carrying that division.
Cam Newton's rushing touchdowns.
True. Carrying that division. I like Josh editing stuff. His loud ass typing right now. We can hear through the friggin' microphone, my guy. So wait, were you sending me messages?
No,
or you
just adding something.
Okay, cool.
For later in the show.
Cool. So more power to the Cowboys. I mean, they're doing well right now. When Dak comes back and the ship starts burning, we'll see how it goes. I think, was it Trent today who sent the thing, or was it Chris? I think it was Chris that sent out like the thing where Jerry Jones was like, "You're our starting quarterback," and then instantly replaced him the next week for Romo. So, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I can't wait to see the Cowboys talk some mess per the usual. It's not fun unless you talk crap about the Cowboys. Like, if you take that out of our group chat, it literally, I think it would be on like 4 pages long. But it is what it is.
Are we not doing Are They Still Them Boys pictures anymore?
They won. They gotta lose.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't do it unless they lose.
Too good.
It might happen this week. We don't know. We'll see.
Cooper Rush has been the long play for a long time.
Cooper Rush is doing the thing. We'll see those ginger Cowboys. But that's really all I have this week. You can't really diss them when they win. But I'm sure that I'll have plenty of chances the rest of the season to throw those shots out. Next up is our guest interview with our guest today. We have some questions for Mr. Ethan Cruz. How are we doing, Ethan? You feeling good about this week's matchup?
Let me take a look. Actually, I was occupied up until last night with our debacle. That was really a crazy matchup against you. I didn't expect the kicker to get 18 points, and I thought I had a chance. I thought I had a chance.
I mean, if he would have put up his normal points, I still would have won, but it just would have been by like 3.
Yeah, but I knew Josh Jacobs was going to put up a big game.
He did.
It's not really. I don't even know I'm playing next week. So who am I playing?
I was talking about the Colts matchup with the Jags.
Oh, Jags. The Jaguars always find a way at home, but we do have a rough history against our AFC rivals, which is basically everybody in our division. The Colts, Jonathan Taylor, hopefully his foot injury is back. I don't need any excuses for the Jags when they whoop the Colts again. We'll see. I'm tired of hearing excuses. We just need to do better. We just need to do better. It's been that for years and years. And I'm sure Josh has felt the same way about his team. So it's
time to... I have no words.
It's hard to defend.
I know what our record is in Jacksonville. For some reason, they have our numbers. So going into it with not the highest hopes, but who knows? We might come out of this week.
Yeah, after losing to the Texans.
Over 500 record.
After losing to the Texans, it kind of shows it really is any given Sunday in this league. And when you're not playing good football, you can get beat. And we weren't playing good football.
Yeah. That was a good week.
And to the Colts defense, yeah. For the Texans, yeah. But we were running a wide nines on our defensive line and running a lot of TE stunts. And Colts offensive line couldn't really handle that. I think they have the film now that they're going to be able to stop that. So if we don't get a pass rush, I like the Colts.
I'm worried about that the most, though. Last week, Colts basically played last week's game with 4 changes to their 5 offensive linemen. So they took the left tackle. He's been a liability all season. Matt Pryor moved him to right tackle.
Yeah.
Moved Braden Smith into right guard. And they started the rookie Bernard Raymond at left tackle. Ended up having like 3 holding calls and a false start. Just growing pains from the rookie. Yeah. But, I mean, they're committed now. They're trying to do anything they can to get Matt Pryor out of the lineup. So they're committed to changes at the O-line, our biggest weakness this year. And so,
which is crazy. Interesting. It's the highest paid overall, right?
Highest paid O-line in the league, and they're playing like the worst.
I think it's just Quentin Nelson's throwing a little variant in that data set. But Matt Ryan looks like an injured newborn deer in the pocket.
Yeah, he's running for his life every play. It's rough.
Yeah, it's scary to watch. Yeah, it's fun when you're playing against them. If that was my team, I'd feel horrible. So,
yeah.
All right. Next question. Fire me up.
All right. Next question. What are your season aspirations? What's your goal this year in terms of the fantasy league?
I'm obviously gunning for the championship again. I want a top 3 finish. I think I've had a first place, a fourth place, and a sixth place in reverse chronological order. So just gotten better every year. Had a couple waiver wire pickups that made a big difference. And kind of this year, the team's not looking as hot as it has in the past. But I think I'm maybe one tight end away, one Curtis Samuel actually having Carson Wentz step up. I mean, it's tough to say because there's that. My team doesn't really have that player this year. it was Debo last year, but Garoppolo being the starting quarterback has helped out a lot. But I think he had 12 or 13 points last week, which doesn't help. But I've had some solid performances, and I definitely see myself, top 4 finish at least.
So what do you think the strategy is moving forward? Do you think, you got to hit big and get lucky on the waiver wires? You got to make a trade? You got to hope somebody else's big player gets injured? What's the strategy?
I mean, this year it's kind of like a socialist society. You got the elites, and then you got the poors. There's a list of 15 players that are going to score 20-plus points a week, and that's a given. And then other than that, it's a gamble this year. A lot of streaming this year, a lot of waiver wire pickups on everybody's team. I think the difference maker is just going to be consistency. Honestly, if you're scoring 120 points every game, you're going to have a chance to win this year. Because I still see some 90-point games in the future in this league for some people,
I think it's a little bit
that's
higher
just
than that.
the way it is.
I think
The
you got to score
floor to win?
140. This year seems
Depends
to be
on
a
who
little
you're
bit like this is true, but it seems like this year, like it's more likely that like fantasy wise, you're scoring a little bit higher than what it's been in the past. Like, I think our average for the league right now is around like 130-ish.
Yeah.
Let me look at it real quick.
This was a high week in terms of overall fantasy scoring. I think last week was pretty low overall.
Yeah.
And the week before that was really high. But I think this was just a good week. There's been a couple bad ones, like just across the NFL. A lot of good defense being played, not a lot of scores.
I'm doing math.
There's just been so many volatile positions. Tight end has been absolutely boom or bust, no in between. Your flex is huge in this league right now. Those are the positions that are winning games.
Well, that's like me last week.
Unless you have Lamar Jackson or
I put up 170-something points and had 0 for my tight end.
Yeah, and and it's a quarterbacks league too this year with like Lamar, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen had 45 points this week. He had 35 points in the first half. Which
dude was
those are unheard of numbers. He's really not ruining fantasy, but making it very hard to beat anybody.
He's making my what did I get him in the 3rd round? My 3rd round pick look really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's bailing out a lot of otherwise not great drafts.
Yeah.
But it really just takes one player. It really just takes one player, and if you can stack 2 top 10 players, you're probably going to win your league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting year, but we wish you the best, Ethan.
Thank you.
In terms of your fantasy endeavors. But before we go, I got one last thing. This is for both of you. So I'm going to go over 2 players, anonymous players. I'm going to read you a couple stats, a couple facts about them, side-by-side comparison, and you're going to tell me which guy you'd rather have on your team. Okay? Does that sound good for you guys?
Sounds great.
All right.
I'm excited.
All right. Player A, unranked in high school, no major college offers, started at a JUCO, and then finished at a non-Power 5 school. That's player A. Player B is a 2-star prospect, played in the SEC, and earned some honors too. I think he was first team All SEC. I think Defensive Player of the Year once. So, a lot of honors there.
Michael Sam.
No. Player A. So this is their head-to-head record with each other. Player A versus Player B.
Okay.
Player A is 0-1, and Player B is 1-0. So Player B beat Player A in their head-to-head NFL game. So then, career record in the playoffs. Player A has 3 playoff losses. Player B has 0 playoff losses. Okay. This is a fun one. I just threw this in here. Player A, 1-1 versus the Colts. Player B, 4-2 versus the Colts. Okay. Don't give me any guesses yet. I got one more.
It's like the same thing.
No,
it's 50%.
I got one more category. Player A has tweeted the N-word multiple times in the past.
And canceled.
Player B has never tweeted the N-word. I went and fact-checked this, confirmed it all. So, based on the facts, the stats I just told you guys about, who would you rather have on your team, Player A or Player B?
I'm going to go with Player A.
The
deciding factor was that last.
I can't.
Oh, so you're...
And that's why you chose. That's okay.
You want to have...
Okay. I mean, we have no clue what their race is here, so that's out the window.
It's true.
So
wait,
I can tell you, Player A is white and Player B is black.
Okay.
So make your choice now, Ethan.
I should have just done it before that, but for my future career in whatever I choose to do, I have to choose B.
Okay, Player B.
I know Player A is probably the better player.
I'm still sticking with Player A.
All right.
Go ahead, say it. You're cool with me, bro.
All right. Player A.
James Robinson.
Is Josh Allen from the Bills. Player B.
What?
Josh Allen.
Go!
From the Jets.
Let's go! Let's go, Buffalo! I love my pick.
Love my pick.
So you guys, blind resume, you guys still picked your teams. I like it.
Well, you had me.
I love. And who's the better Josh Allen?
This year?
I mean, I just listed off the facts. I mean, you decide.
Who's the better Josh Allen? I know who the better one-on-one when they're playing each other. I know who the better Josh Allen is.
Well, I do know that it's hard to record playoff losses when you're not in the playoffs.
Well, we don't have any. We only have one playoff left.
Huh?
Sorry, my neighbor's going ham below us.
Yes.
But we only have one, I think, or a couple. But okay, stop. That's crazy. But yeah,
we can't hear him. So
2017 AFC champs should have been.
Yep. One play.
It's the Tom Brady ref. Tom Brady ref. It hasn't stopped. And when all I'll say is that when you see a ref celebrating a touchdown with a team, that should tell you something.
You know what I feel about that little.
It should.
With Tom Brady as well.
You know what I feel about that segment, Josh?
What you say? What you say? I say whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe. Oh.
That's how I feel about that.
I mean, that was bad.
Morning.
You probably should have used that at some other point. I know you just wanted to throw that in there. I appreciate you going out there and finding
I didn't want to not
sounded.
use it.
Don't worry.
I was gonna make a Deshaun joke. What? I was gonna make a Deshaun joke and use this.
I am a predator. Okay.
Yeah, I know y'all saw that giant sideline video.
Yeah,
no, that was ridiculous.
What's going on? We don't know.
I need to trade now.
That's an example of a consensual massage.
Yes.
I heard.
He's not about
that. It's known as reparations, is what I've been saying on social media.
Okay.
So
All right. Well,
Anyways, so just to go back, I did do the math. Our average point totals is 134. That's what our teams are averaging this year. So,
okay.
So just my
So be
blind
above
guesstimate,
average.
up here with my Rain Man mind. I said about 130 to 140. Ka-chow.
It's almost dead
So-
center. 135 is in between those two numbers.
Huh? Anyways, next week is going to be Trent on the podcast. It's his wedding week, so we're going to party like it's 2022. But yeah, so that was this week's podcast. Ethan, we appreciate you coming on, taking some licks and then dishing them out. We appreciate the give and take. Josh, your hoe. But I love you, buddy.
Okay.
Love you on here.
Only in
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Thank you for coming out and showing off your belt.
Appreciate it.
One more
It'll,
time.
it'll be at my house this
Just
year.
the closest some of us will ever get to it. So thank you for sharing.
You just get it.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, go ahead and
Josh is
show
not
that
one
off.
either, so you can kick rocks. So, in honor of the
Beautiful.
Cowboys win this week, this is Trent ordering at Popeyes and or KFC for the win. Bye, guys.
I want some fries and chicken, a side of biscuit, that ain't enough for me. I want a number 3, straight out that oven, nobody get nothing for me, man, I just want something to eat. All of that chicken look juicy, I want me a piece, put it in the bucket for me. Let out some napkin, cause I don't want all of that grease. She said it's no mac and cheese, give me some mash and gravy, I don't want greens, original some crispy. I want the legs, thighs, breasts, I don't want wings. Can I please have me a diet soda, all that right there, gonna complete my order. I'm gonna drive up to the front, yeah. Run it up, yeah. Long like
They don't get
front, yeah. Just want my lunch, yeah. Chicken